In a big win for diners against the practice of restaurants levying a mandatory service charge, the Delhi High Court has ordered both the National Restaurant Association of India and the Federation of Hotel and Restaurant Associations of India to pay a penalty of 1 lakh rupees each. This is for a complete non-compliance of the High Court directions dated 12th April 2023, in which the two organizations were asked to follow several directions. The organizations have been given until Friday to comply with the orders. Nalini Sharma, India Today TV's Legal Bureau, joins us for more information on this. Nalini, take us through exactly, what has angered the High Court so much that it's taken this step.
So what the Delhi High Court actually in its order has said is that there is a complete non-compliance by the National Restaurant Association of India as well as the Federation of the Hotels and Restaurants Association. And keeping that in mind, they said that due to this complete non-compliance is why this penalty has been imposed upon them. The reason for complete non-compliance, what they've said, is that these associations did not actually go back to all of the restaurants that are part of the association to find out what their opinion was regarding as to whether or not A, service charge should be levied mandatorily on the bills, and 2, as to whether or not there was any scope of changing the name from service charge to something else. For example, the welfare staff fund or something on those lines, changing the name so that there is no confusion in the mind of the customer itself. So for these reasons primarily, the Delhi High Court has passed such a stringent order, and they've asked them categorically to go back to every restaurant, get proper feedback, and then come back to the court once again with a proper affidavit in place.
So what does this mean for the consumer in the legal battle going forward?
So for the customers, it's actually going to be a long legal battle ahead, like you correctly pointed out, because the case is still not disposed of, that's pending before the High Court. Now the issue, like I told you earlier, was that the High Court was not happy with the affidavits that were filed by both the associations and the federation. So keeping that in mind, they've asked them to come back with a complete affidavit on what the restaurants that are part of these associations really have to say on these aspects. So it matters a lot, the impact on the consumers matters a lot with respect to what these restaurants actually say, because if there is a majority of restaurants that say that they are okay with doing away with service charge in their bills, then that will come as a big relief for the consumers who for a very long time have been fighting this legal battle against service charge being levied in restaurants across the national capital. But at the same time, if the majority of restaurants come ahead and said that no, they want to mandatorily levy the service charge and they refuse to even change the name of the service charge to something else, then that might come as a slight setback to the consumers who will still have to continue to shell out this money from the pocket. So it ultimately depends on the fact as to what the Delhi High Court decides. But before that, the Restaurant Federation as well as the associations both have to come before the Delhi High Court and give a categorical affidavit giving the stand of the restaurants, because ultimately it is the restaurants that will have to implement whatever the High Court decides in this entire regard.